both teams are ready to make their map picks, and I know we've been talking it up so much, but maybe it'll be a caster's curse here as there's a little bit of mystery as to what maps they will decide to go with. But again, hoping for an Inferno. And what would be a second map for you?
I don't know. I'm never worried about being wrong with the maps because at the end of the day, you still got 3 maps to watch, so that's all that really matters. But so my bans were Cash and Train being taken out. We do have Existence that has picked Cobble before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick Cobble. Maybe they feel that they're pretty strong on it. And again, it's a map with recent changes. It has been adopted more in Europe than I would say North America in terms of playing it, learning those strats. So I'm going to go Cobble for Existence. Penta. Will they go Overpass again? I don't know. I'm going to go Penta's going to pick Mirage.
Wow. Okay.
And then what's our random? Oh, they banned Cobble.
Right off the bat. Okay. So maybe they think that because...
They watched that pre-analysis and
right,
we should ban Cobble.
Yeah, that's right. They had no idea what to pick until they ended up turning on the stream. So banning Cobble makes a lot of sense. I think one thing about Cash is that maybe Existence expected Cash to be vetoed, and so they might be taken aback by the fact that suddenly it's still on the board. So it's going to be Existence's turn to ban. I think they certainly won't ban Mirage. I mean, I think they actually, okay, Penta are really good on Mirage. Existence are really good on Mirage.
Yeah, it's like both of their teams' maps.
That's the issue, but Penta are obviously better.
I would say the bans are probably like Train, Overpass, and then maybe like as a side note, maybe Mirage is taken out.
I could definitely see that happening. You know, Inferno being the only question mark between these two specifically means that that's the kind of most interesting pick in my opinion. I kind of expect Penta to pick D2, though I could totally understand if they picked Mirage as well.
I'm not sure if Existence will want Inferno, so maybe Penta will, because in the Existence versus Lions EK, that was the lower bracket round 1. Lions EK looked insanely strong on Inferno, and they actually won 16-9, and that was the one map in that series that Existence lost.
Yeah.
So maybe that's even fresher in their mind than the previous Penta and Existence best of 3.
In that matchup, Lions EK playing way above their level and taking down Existence on that map looked very disciplined
until they got to Overpass.
Until they got to Overpass, yeah. Or it seemed like was pretty unfortunate. Yes, they got completely outclassed on that map. But taking their time here, Existence, to make an informed decision. And I think that means that, you know, they aren't completely sure exactly what they want to do right now. I think if they had 2 options, it would most likely be the Mirage and Dust 2, I want to say. Yeah,
Dust 2 is, I mean, always fun. Obviously, the classic map. Mirage skin similar, and also getting really, really popular in CSGO. I feel like almost every pug or matchmaking is like, oh, let's go Mirage.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna, you know, kind of talk with Kyrie specifically and ask, where are you going to be most comfortable today? What do you feel like opping, or what maps can we center around you? As it's going to be, it might, you know, over the course of the next 2 or 3 maps, it might come down to these very specific op duels won or lost by Kyrie going up against Crystal, or just him being able to take 1 or 2 players down in the middle of a round. Yeah, still pondering on that pick, our Existence.
Yeah, so, I don't know. So Train, let's just talk about Train in general, because that's like going to be the new story coming up.
So
we'll get there first.
I'll ask
you.
Me. Do you like it?
Well, at 1.6, I did like it. I loved it.
Once upon a time, that's the equivalent.
I will agree that I don't think the extreme like 1-to-1 of Train from 1.6 to Go is really going to work, just because things are different, right? I mean, there's the movement accuracy, like pistols are strong, smokes are really strong, stronger than in any CS before.
Yeah.
And Train had a lot of narrow alleys. I mean, literally everything, right?
Yeah.
It was really narrow on that map, especially outside actually had trains in it. So there was like 3 lanes, 3 big lanes, and like even 4 or 5 smaller ones. Inside's more open. It's better since the well, what do we want to talk here? Since it was in CS:GO.
Yeah, I mean, it would only make sense, I think, to compare it only to CS:GO. There's multiple.
Well, there were a lot of versions of it, even in CS:GO.
Sure. I think what are the 2 most dominant changes, or most predominant changes, that have made an impact on the way I see the map are removing 1 heaven. Obviously, there used to be a heaven on either side of outer or A site, and now there is only a heaven on CT side, or on CT side of outer.
Which was new and go in the first place.
Right, which was new and go in the first place. And so they tried to, I guess, continue with that trend and keep that update in place while removing old heaven, as you would call it.
May it rest in peace.
May it rest in peace. And then the other huge change, I think, is removing that middle lane, A2. That was it could have been regarded as kind of an unnecessary lane where it's just an extra angle to watch, another train to look under, and that could have made it really difficult as a T player coming out into outer. But on this train, you can do that and not have to worry about that extra lane.
Yeah. Well, the trains got removed, so there wasn't as much cover. So having that lane would have been really difficult in this current reskin of train. So I'm okay with that being taken out. The biggest thing for me is old bomb. I would like old bomb back, and I think I'd just be happy right there. And then probably a train by Z. But anyways, looks like Kyrie here finally checked in for existence. So we're going to get the vetoes underway, and it's actually going to be Cobble and Overpass. So the new kids on the block being kicked off the block.
Yeah.
And wow, Penta. They've practiced. They're like, oh, you're good at cash? Oh, so are we.
Oh, you beat us on cash that one time? Well, not today, and that's almost in line with their Cobble ban. Banning the map that they haven't played on, that they know existence are going on, and then picking the map that existence actually took off of them in the same league. So that's going to be I think a huge that's gonna really confuse existence. I feel like
the mind games
they
for
feel
sure.
like they're supposed to be confident on it, and they go onto a map that they had just taken a map off of Penta on. They expect it to be banned, and now they have to play it because it was picked by their opponents. I mean, that's gonna come out of left field, and we know Penta. They are confident, and they show it. When they are up in rounds, they will take risks. They might pull up the Zeus.
They will troll with some guns.
Yes, exactly. And so that almost makes sense in some weird twisted way. So that's going to be really exciting, knowing that Penta pick cash, they're going to play it first, and we get to see them go up against a team that actually beat them on the map, and in convincing fashion, 16-6.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, with the draft going a little more risky towards Penta, I feel like they're the team that's still going to have to show up and actually prove that they worked on cash and are going to be able to take down existence. So, I don't know, maybe they're not that flustered. Like, oh, sweet, we don't even have to pick cash. But of the maps left, we have 4, Dust 2, Inferno, Train, and Mirage. And like we said, both teams very good on Mirage, so we expected to see the map played. We thought picked by Penta, but existence will take it here. And it's El Clasico, Dust 2. We're going to get random. That's my favorite third map because the knife round on Dust 2 just doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And so the game isn't over before it started, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be really nice to see a map like Dust 2, and knowing that both teams are going to be very confident on it means that it's going to be exciting, and we can expect to see somewhat of a close scoreline, or at least I would hope. So Cash is going to be the first map, Mirage the second, and the decider on Dust 2. Looks like it's going to be a pretty exciting series here for you guys, and I think we'll try to get in the server and see if everybody's ready to play. I think there might be a few moments of talking, but beyond that, it's all going to be said in the server.
Yeah, so that first map, of course, is going to be Cash. And so looking at a player like Kyrie, where do you think he opts here? Is he just the Lone Ranger over in B with that op posted up?
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 good positions, really. Like Truck, I guess easily smoked at A.
Yeah.
Mid, of course, is going to be a great position. T side or CT side. And B.
Yeah, so you can op anywhere on Cash. You can go for early spawn picks that can really cut off the map, that you can stay there by yourself and hold off the site if you get there early enough and get to a position where you can just hold a really nice angle. It's also very friendly to T-side, though, as if you go for that T-side pick, looking into B, you can stage an op by running them across and take that pick, though it might be a little bit harder post-update. It's a really relevant change, I think, to the meta, at least, that we'll see on Cash. But just because the meta's changed so dramatically doesn't mean that players are really used to it. They might still try some of the stuff that they tried before. Old habits die hard, of course. And so that means that we might still see them try to do some of the more aggressive T-side picks that they were used to doing in pre-update.
Yeah. And so what site, if you're a terrorist on on a, let's say, a rifle round here on Cash, like what site do you prefer to go to for your execute? I mean, it's easier to draw them out at A because you know you can take mid control, move up highway. You got your set smokes, you know, before you go into A main. If you're going B, it's a little quicker, or you've taken mid control and you're going through the vents. So I don't know. What do you think is maybe a little favored for either of these teams?
Yeah, I think you know, A being the big site, we're going to see a lot more action there. But overall, if B is weak and the solo man at B is not having a good day, that means that they will take it with confidence and hit it until we see a response from the other team playing heavier over towards B, and then we'll see that come back to A, right, where there are less players to hold a big site. And a lot of mid control can be important. I think Penta will opt to really just swarm the boost, jump over, come out mid through lower, and try to get to vents and get that mid control and just sit there, get the trades, hold it, and then either decide to split A or split B. But once they have mid, that decision that they want to make is a lot easier to make because it's so much easier to execute with mid control.
Yeah, and then a map like this, like Cash, pretty even in terms of the CTT round split, like 8-7, 9-6, and that can kind of go either way as this map can. It's a very clean map. It can come down a lot to just out-aiming your opponents. So is that an edge to... I mean, both these teams have some great aimers. Like Kyrie, I mean, Penta is obviously here, right? That's a team that was invited to the majors, and I'm more excited to see Kyrie.
Yeah, I know. Kyrie's definitely been shining. But it's a very momentum-based map. Like, we see, like, multiple rounds in a row go to one team and then go to another, and that's because the map is very balanced. And I think we could see an 8-7 half. I think we're just as likely to see an 8-7 half as we are to see an 11-4 half. And that's why I kind of can be difficult to say the map is either T or CT sided. It's not the hardest thing in the world to get around on T side, or 3 in a row. And it's going to come down to the teams and their play styles and their matchup against each other. And again, what makes that interesting is the fact that both teams have played this map before, and the team who didn't picked it won. Yeah,
so Penta picks it this time. You think if they get off to a slow start, are they just going to deflate on this map and just be like, all right, let's get on over to that second map?
Not versus a team that you're more confident than. You know, going down in rounds versus a team that you expect to beat you can be really disheartening. Going down in rounds versus a team that you expect to win against, it's kind of like a passing thought, I feel like. It's it won't get to them mentally. I expect them to just take it round by round, and I don't think there's going to be a deficit that's going to be too great for them that's actually going to affect their performance. So if, you know, they lose 7 rounds in a row, and again, this map being very momentum-based means that they can only win 1 round after 7, I think they're still extremely likely to win a second, third, and put together a decent half.
All right, so we got 9 players in the server, guys, so it should be coming up soon, but this is what I want to do. So we're going to get some predictions here on Cash, Launders, and then actually we'll get it from our other analyst, Dustin Misled as well. Oh, we might not have time now that 10 show up. We'll see if we can squeeze it. I'm going to go Existence take this map. I'll just say 16-11. So, Launders, what do you think?
I think... Oh, you think Existence take this map?
Yeah, I think Existence got it.
Okay, I think that's even a bolder prediction, even though because it was Penta's pick. I'd say Penta take this map. I'd say Penta take this map convincingly. I feel the confidence coming from it. I'd say they take this map 16-8.
All right, and then let's get some thoughts and some predictions there from our panel. We've got Dust and Misled. Guys, take it away.
And yeah, to speak on that, bold prediction coming there from Penta. I mean, they picked the map they lost on, and that was the decided victory for Existence. I mean, 16-8? Do they think that Existence is going to bring the same thing to the table against them once again, and they can counter-strat that? I don't know what the pick is with that.
Yeah, I mean, to one side of the story is that, yeah, this is a map that Existence beat them on in the playoffs, so why would you pick that map? Yes, but you have to understand that, you know, one best-of-1 mapper in a best-of-3 map loss to a team is not going to take away from your mindset of how you feel about how you play a certain map. Let's take a history lesson. Cash is the map that they eliminated Titan from Katowice from, you know, very, very recently, which is a good map for Titan. They blasted them 16-4 on that map at that LAN, and I think that map probably probably holds a little bit more weight on how you judge a team, on how they play it. So I would say, yes, this is a chance for Existence to win. I mean, they beat them earlier in these playoffs, but it's not as if Penta's bad on the map. They've had some big wins on it, like the one I just used as an example. So I would expect this to – if Existence can't win this map, this is going to be a 2-0 series, I think. But if Existence can take cash, I think we could see eventually we would see that third map Dust 2, and then from there we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you? What do you think?
I think this is their only chance to be able to force a map number 3. They have to get it done right here on Cash. And I mean, if history holds true with how they've done so far against Penta, I think Existence can take this. And I think I just have an inkling that I feel like Penta's coming into this thinking that they're just going to be able to counter-strat what Existence already did before, and I don't think Existence is going to do that again. I think they're going to switch it up a little bit, come with a bigger, better game, and they should be able to take this, and I'm right there with Helium. I think Existence will take map 1. I think map 2 should go, Mirage should go in favor of Penta, and then we're going to go down to that knife for sides on Dust 2, which, as I said earlier, doesn't really matter on Dust 2. You might as well just throw the knife around, because either side, it's an 8-7 map, in my opinion, so just let that one go, and I think Existence aim is strong enough that they can hold Dust 2 relatively close, but I don't think they'll be able to take down Penta on that map. So we should see a 2-1 series, in my opinion, in favor of Penta.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bold and go up to 2-0 in favor of Penta. Ooh. But that's my prediction. But we will pass it back over to Helium and Launders, as they are about to take away map number 1 here in the series between Penta and Existence.
All right, thank you, guys. I'm glad to see Misled there agreeing with me, and it looks like we will not be much longer here. Got the 10 players in the server, should be ready to go and get right into this, because after all this talking, I know everyone, I want to see some CSGO. You guys want to see some Go. Launders, you want to see CSGO?
Oh my, don't even ask me, dude.
Don't even ask me. All right, so Dust, he tried to skate that question. He didn't give us round by round.
We didn't have any bold predictions from Dust.
Yeah, claiming to be bold.
That's
the 2-0 for Penta, I don't know. That's probably what most people are expecting. I haven't checked the odds. I'd assume they fall in line with that.
I think it's like 76-24 or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You think they should be that skewed?
I think if I were to place a bet and it was 0-0, I'd more than certainly place it on Penta. If the odds were, closer to 60-40, I think it would be a little bit scary. I mean, I feel like if the odds were 60-40, right, would you want to bet on Existence, or would you think those are pretty good odds for Penta? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're a team that have bigger wins overall, as Des pointed out, and with this bold map choice, it just makes me feel even more confident about their play.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly hope so. They might even look a little bit foolish here if they come out and just get, run over like they did the last time on Cash. Like, oh, that didn't work. And even if that happens, I mean, I think Penta can still come back. And actually, for the whole series, I would think Penta would take it 2-1.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see Existence kind of silence the audacity there by Penta to just pick their map. Oh,
man. They got to be upset about that.
Yeah, I didn't get to pick it. They think they're getting made fun of here from Penta, a team that likes to just use submachine guns. Well, that's probably every team now.
Yeah.
But they pull out the AUG and the SG, or the Krieg, as I still call it, quite often. Actually, what do you think of that gun in CSGO?
It's really good. I mean, it's just super accurate. First bullet does over 90 damage. If you're really close, it'll take you down at one shot. And you can run around with it. Next uses the Krieg. Obviously, Speedy uses both the Krieg, the AUG, and so I think it's a very viable gun. MBK, I think, was one of the first people to use it kind of like in a LAN, like an important LAN match, and did very well with it. It's just very powerful, and I think most of the reason that people don't use it is because, well, number one, it's a little bit more expensive, to be fair, but at this point an AUG is only $100 more than a Silence M4, so those even that gap is closing, and that can be more and more reason for someone to want to pick it up, and that's part of the way that Valve prices the guns, based on how often it's going to be picked up, right? They want, for the price point, that gun to be picked up a certain amount of times. And so I think there's a lot of incentive these days for an AUG to be used. You can really just lock down a site with it. You got a scope too. I mean, the scope is kind of, I think, weird for people, right?
Because it's the only gun with that gun. Bit too.
Yeah, you're right. But the accuracy buff is very beneficial. So I like it, but I don't use it, but I like it.
Oh,
I'm just not very good with it. I'm just not very good with it. I think when someone uses it and I know they're ready to use it, that it can do damage. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we need to get, I guess, more sample size. Like, our players using it more because it's only $100. Although I will say that $100 has felt like a lot when I'm playing CT side. Like, I'm broke.
Everything is really expensive on that team.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
No doubt.
But yeah, excited to see that. So we'll see if it's. Oh, the other point I wanted to bring up on that, like if it's just the price, or is Penta using it because they haven't really felt challenged in the pro placements?
No. It's definitely a really good gun. There's just no doubt about that. It's a solid weapon, and again with the price, it doesn't cost as much as a Negev, so it's not a complete troll buy, if you will. It's got the scope, the long range, it does the damage, and you can run around with it. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, somewhere in between an op and a rifle.
Who was it that picked up the Negev ace the other day?
Yeah, that was MBK. Yeah, he's pretty experimental with his buys. That was a really
It's honestly
solid.
a good gun. It one-shots from miles away
Yeah,
if you hit the head.
Whenever I pick it up, I spray it and die, but he ended up bursting it. And I think he called it a misbuy, right? In the middle of the round as he was running down to
he
B.
all chatted like, I didn't mean to buy this guy, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I always say when I want to buy a troll gun. And he hoped the ace with it, and he ended up doing that. Very powerful.
Yeah, that was actually on Inferno, so he shut down the mid push with it. I mean, tight corridors, Negev, 150 bullets. Like that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Probably not going to see it on cash, and maybe unless this maybe gets out of hand. But I think finally we got the 10 people in here, and we might be able to get this underway. And actually, there we go. The flyby coming up, taking out the A site. Probably see Kyrie by that truck a lot. Maybe over here in B as well with that up. All right, so here we are in that pistol round. It's going to be Existence on that CT side. Well, Penta picked it, so Existence gets to choose, and here they are spreading out. 2 in A, looks like 1 in mid, and 2 in B here for the pistol round. So rolling a 2-1-2, Lau peeking out mid, trying to bring down NKJ. Actually takes slightly more damage, but both of them here are pretty healthy. Lots of nades here on the CT side, and opting more towards armor over here for Penta.
Yeah, so they've got 2 over towards Squeaky, and they've gotten 1 player out mid, and it looks like the other 2 want to just spend their time going up A main, as sometimes a player can't be useful there. But a player goes down, that's Mason taking down Spitty in A main, and next comes out for the trade and looks for the second and turns around and gets him as well. So that's the A site completely open.
Yeah, that Glock mobility, able to get 2, and a beautiful headshot there into the man, playing quad. So Bomb is going to go down in A. It's a 4-on-3 right now. Penta with a man advantage. Lau trying to work his way over. He's the one with armor flipping. Can he use any of these nades? And Lau gets spotted. He's going to get brought down, and now over into A main. It's flipping. Headshot from Nex will stop him. And, well, terrorists plant the bomb and frag them out.
Yeah, so we saw kind of an escort there while Penta had 2 players come out mid with a third, drop him off at Vince, and then retreat off of that. And our player spotting Z kind of had to concede that once he wasn't able to hit a headshot right off the bat. And once our player was out mid, you could have kind of anticipated a split A, but there wasn't much you could do about it. As in light of that information, we had someone push into Squeaky, they got traded out, Next came out and got that trade immediately, and then got a second with an amazing 180 headshot on our player quad, opening up the A site completely, and that's what won the round for them. Again, Next, just always so good.
All right, well, Dennis takes out Musa and Bonnie, who was actually, I thought I saw him scout up. Yeah, he did, and now Lau is going to be able to pick it up. So he's rocking the scout and the CZ, but Speedy with the Tech 9 brings down Flippin, actually going to get Kyrie as well. We'll see Crystal moving toward the vents. So the terrorists do have that vent control, middle control, and that's going to make things really easy for them here. Not only do they have the economy of these guns, but now it's just Mason by himself here. And this was it was an expensive round for Existence. They forced up, and Mason would be lucky if he can save this.
Yeah, and it's still really early into the changes that have occurred recently, and so people are still deciding, I think, whether or not they want to save on that second round. And it's something they aren't really used to. You know, at the beginning of Go, that was very common, right? Save for the next 2 rounds because we're probably going to lose them, and then come back with rifles and just win a round, put it on the board, and not have to do damage to our economy in between for a risk that's not worth taking. But now we're kind of back to that meta where second rounds are becoming harder and harder to win, and we don't see ecos happen too often anymore, and teams are going to have to start making that hard decision about whether to be more patient and save and take the fight later when they know they can win it, or pull off the risky buy now, which isn't going to do too much damage to our economy, but if we don't do enough economic damage back, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah, and I was actually really surprised there to see the Scout come out again. I thought that might disappear from the losing team's second round with the power of SMGs and the ability to just close the gap. But looks like they opted for it. Mason, though, will find a kill. That will even things up. It's Dennis that has already fallen for Penta. Bomb still back in mid, under terrorist control, but they are just working some picks right now, trying to get this easy. Well, maybe it won't be easy, but should possibly just be that easy third round.
Yeah, we've got a 4v4, and that it's going to be in existences, kind of. Whoa, Flippin actually takes someone down with a P2K, it looks like, and that's Spitty. He goes down. So it looks like Penta are going to want to take a site immediately, and they see an opening in A, and they take it, and that's going to favor them so much. I mean, they only have 3 players alive, but they have the site control.
Oh, and the forklift, I mean, it's good cover. All his bullets, he stayed alive for a while. Couldn't find the kill, though, and now 2-on-2. The terrorists are very low. That's only 11 HP there for Next. Still has the AK going to get flashed up at Quad, so he's brought down into a 1-on-1. Flippin with the Scout, and NKJ with the very powerful MP7, and it's a very, very close one, especially with Existence not buying anything that round.
Yeah, it was at that point in the round where Flippin was walking around the crates, and he had the idea, okay, I don't see him forklift anymore, and unless he's hiding forklift, he's wrapping the site, and he looked over to the outside of the site, but I don't think was ready to take the shot because he had his crosshairs kind of looking in his direction, but didn't manage to shoot at all, and that meant that NKJ was able to win the round.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we do have a quick pause here. I'm not sure what's going on, but hey, a little bit of delay. We'll have a pause. So, Penta, they do what they need to do. They get off with the first 3 rounds. So starting off hot on their sort of bold map pick, a map that they did lose to Existence. But I think actually we were looking through, they didn't have Dennis when they were playing that best of 3, right?
Yeah, they didn't have Dennis, but they also had, oh yeah, so it isn't Blazor who's playing today.
Yeah.
And it looked like he might have been. So instead of Blazor, they're playing with Dennis, and I think that can only help them more. I think, you know, overall, maybe they felt like playing with Blazor meant that they were able to lose on Cash or
yeah,
something
I feel like
strange
maybe one
like
player
that.
doesn't change a map like Cash
Not
very
too much. I mean, Dennis, obviously a really great player, not a standout player on the same level as maybe Nex or Crystal might have been, but that might be what had changed their decision about it. But yeah, Penta come away with a round. That is the pistol, and then 2 more with little to no trouble. Actually, on that last round, did come pretty close. I can't deny that. That was a 1v1. So they had almost got to the point where Existence were able to maintain a man advantage to the point of extinction, excuse me, for Existence. And going up against a full rifle buy right now is Penta, and it's going to be 5 M4s on the board, and that's the risk that you run when spending money on that second round, right? You won't have that money for an op if you really want it. The head armor, the extra nades, the incendiaries, these are all things that you sacrifice when you decide to buy on that second round or spend all your money or even half of it. So Flippin's going to be the only one with a kit. A few players without head armor, which isn't the biggest deal, but they aren't going up against 5 AKs, at least not yet, and we'll see if that makes a difference in this 4th round.
Crystal, though, does have that op just against all rifles, so we'll see what he can do with that. If maybe they're going to boost over mid, and I should say, guys, you maybe saw the chat there, they had some high ping. Even though we're at the MLG arena, this is still the Europe Pro placement, so this is an online match. Players not really too much under our control, but it looks like it wasn't very long. I think Crystal was the one maybe lagging, so let's calm down, and we're now into round 4, that first rifle. And I saw someone at the bottom of the boost. I don't know if they're just chilling there waiting for Crystal to maybe try to peek mid or go back to the boost. No, they've run out mid. Oh, and actually Musam Bani is going to be the one to bring them down.
That's the bomb, and you never want to entry frag with the bomb. that's CS 101. So the bomb is kind of left out mid, and that means that the T players are going to have to congregate towards it. Next, looking for a fight in here, gets traded up by Mason, looking for the opportunity and finding it. Very good on him.
All right, so when it comes down to those rifle rounds, it looks like Existence has struck back, really no problem. It leaves NKJ very, very low and in a 1v4. He was able to bring down Mason towards A, but now he's very concerned about his flank, and rightly so, 2 players approaching. All right, gonna go for the high up pop flash. Oh my gosh, he gets them both,
wow.
But that was from behind, I think he still got shut down.
Yeah, they both could see their future in that situation. But it's weird, because Dennis obviously made a critical mistake walking out mid there, dropping the bomb. And not the worst spot possible, and I think it's important to realize that. But the thing is that that can really affect the way Penta want to play out the round. First of all, the information on the bomb is that it has been spotted, and then furthermore, they have to find a way to get it back safely, and they know that Existence are responding to the fact that the bomb is left down in the open, even if it isn't completely in their control.
All right, well, the op's actually going to come out again here from Penta, and now we get to see that op battle, and it's going to be a good one. Well, if they meet up, Crystal versus Kyrie, but
wow.
Oh, trying to work through the door there. That was Dennis. Mason will actually bring him down in return, and prior to that, Flippin found a headshot onto Speedy. So Penta, it was like, oh, this bold map pick, 3-0, nice, going to work out. And then suddenly in these 2 rounds with the rifles, Existence looking as strong as ever on a map like Cash, and with the vent control we talked about being really great for, well, both teams. CT for an aggressive side works out there with another kill.
Yeah, last round capitalizing on mistake. This round, not much to say. I mean, they won all of their duels. Mason actually picking up 2. 1 through the squeaky door, which I think they anticipated a player to push up into. And across the board, we saw Kyrie making a very nice op shot at mid there. Have to highlight that. And overall, it was just a strong round in total. That's going to do a lot of good for their economy and a lot of bad for Penta. So on a save right now, looking for a 6th-round win, but with a couple of smokes, definitely have a plan. And going up against full buy Existence, who looks so solid in these previous rounds, I don't think they have much chance of doing it, but at least they do have a plan. Never want to go into an eco without a plan.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you've given up. Like, all right, just run into the blender, whatever. And then a best of 3, I know, it's a scenario that can come up sometimes. Not going to see it here, I don't think. But it doesn't start off great, as Flippin will bring down 2 just like that. Lau with another, and Crystal and Speedy. Well, the plan's falling apart, but they will get at least 1 headshot, so forcing a rebuy out on Flippin. Boost and Bonnie trying to lock down B with that Molotov. And we see it there in the X-ray coming in through the vent is Mason, again showing the importance of that part of the map to find those final 2.
Yeah, it's important that you highlight that. Like the vents have been really crucial. Like we saw a couple of the trades happen. Like for example, the bomb getting dropped outside of mid. That was from the player at vents. I think it might have been Musambani on that previous round. And now Mason dropping out of there can be very powerful, excuse me, for stopping a B rush to have that position, because you can watch checker from there and you can watch mid.
All right, so Penta Sports, they got into those rifle rounds where they did have an op and they didn't work out. Maybe not the only reason they're not using it here. Could be economy. So Crystal back to an AK. Full AKs for Penta. Still the op on Kyrie. And looks like the terrorists have been able to get themselves out towards mid. Next was pinned down a little bit there by Molotov and is going to be spotted.
Oh.
Kyrie, though, will miss the headshot. Generally, what you want to be forced to aim for with an op, that small target. And Musambani slightly distracted. Maybe thought those footsteps were coming from his right, but that was indeed the vent. So next finds the opener. Though Kyrie will bring down Crystal. And look how low these 3 members on Penta are. Still going to go in and find those entries. Next, going to peek 1 more in the CT, but going to be opt. And that's Kyrie with a 2K here. Mason to find 1. And just like that, it's NKJ, the newer member here for Penta, in a 1v3, and he's got to get to that bomb as well. And, you know, stops for breakfast.
Yeah, it can always suck. You're in the middle of a clutch. You're like, all right, it's a 1v3. I've got full life, and then a nade just drops on you while you're thinking, and stops that future from ever being possible. But another solid round from Existence, and I'm almost regretting here making my bold prediction of a 16-8, because Existence so far have 3 rifle rounds, 1 solid eco.
My prediction was bold.
Your
I'm the
prediction
only one
was
here with a
bold.
bold prediction. I said 16-11 for Existence winning.
Fair enough, fair enough. But looking, comparing the results right now, Penta don't even have a rifle round on the board.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It looked really, and they haven't even. Well, we can actually check here. They haven't even been close, have they? I mean, since the CT started winning, they have 4 surviving members, 5, 4, and then 3.
Yeah.
So in the rifle rounds, Penta have only been able to kill 2 people at max.
Yeah, and economically, that's 10 grand on the board for 3 players on Existence, and like 2 and 5K for another. So they've got rebuys for the whole family for the next couple of rounds. I mean, they're sitting pretty, and Penta, every round they lose, every round they lose, they risk being on another save. And once you win rounds in succession like that, it can be really hard to come back from. But again, Cash, as we highlighted, is a very streaky map that can come down to momentum, and we're seeing that play out here today. But with multiple rifle rounds on the board for Existence, they're feeling hot, and it looks like they're trying to make Penta regret their very bold map pick, who I thought could walk the walk, but we'll see.
I think after round 9, they might actually be really worried, like shaking in their boots, because looking at the money, I think we touched on CT money, but Terrace money is not good. Like 2,000, 3,000, just, low threes. And it's going to be another save round here. They'll have some Tech 9s. Looks like it was Tech 9 and armor for Dennis. So I think everyone is going to be investing like a grand or a grand and a half. And then that'll be another rifle round of all AKs.
Yeah. Now the one thing about Penta was that in this Cash best of 3 that they played previously in the pro placement, it was the CT side that was a huge problem, as Existence came away after losing the pistol round, came away with 8 CT rounds in a row to close it up, and Penta managed themselves to only get 7 rifle rounds near the end of the first half. So that means that Existence overall, strong CT ante, and Penta, I guess, just feel like they were a little bit off that day. Like, look at Crystal, 9 frags on that map. I don't think that's what he's used to putting up. So maybe they have they're just not feeling off anymore. They're feeling good in general, and that's why they feel like Cash should have never been a map they lost in the first place. But Existence still ready.
Yeah, still being a bit rough there, and well, still waiting for this to resume. It looks like again it was Penta with the internet problem, so waiting for that. I don't know. Well, I saw you guys were fooling around with the graphs. I didn't get to check out the average damage per round, but obviously CTs, they're the 4 in a row. They've done a lot of damage overall.
Yeah.
And I think expect them to get round number 8. Mm-hmm. So like I said a little bit earlier, round 9 is going to be that key round that could decide, well, at least the fate of the first half, because like you said, the map's streaky. You come back to, well, I guess the Penta will be flipping the CT. You get the pistol there. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know how Penta feels about this map. Maybe they are a lot more comfortable when they're defending on that CT side.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing. I mean, they had a lackluster CT side last time, but they still got 7 rounds, and I think if they were feeling bad in general, that means they're expecting to have a really, really good CT side this time around. And you don't want to come into a map thinking that you're going to get all your rounds on T side. I think if anything, it's a CT rounds that you would expect to be handed to you. And here we are, off of the pause, back into it. Penta again on a save.
Yeah, so 2 of the richer members, Nex and Dennis, will go for some armor with the Tech 9, and it will be Dennis moving out first, just to soak some of that nade damage. But it's just the Tech 9s blazing and trying to open up the door. Actually, no, it's still mollied out there. Smoked off in main. We'll go for the delay explode over here at the A site. But look at that nice crossfire, and I love this view just to highlight that. 1 from quad and 1 from the rafters. And now we got that 3rd player coming over to A from the truck side. More mollies and smokes to deter the terrorists. So this is, they're discouraged. They're like, okay, let's maybe try to work mid, which is where they're going to run into one of the most dangerous oppers, EU. Ooh, wow, missing the foot there.
Rare footage of a miss from Kyrie.
Yeah, and there's actually 2 players on that boost. I think 1 dropped off the back and 1 actually jumped forward, but oh, look at that flipping. He might also get, he flanks and then gets flanked, but actually able to get out of there. And now over towards A. So you're just trying to focus on 2 portions of the map right there as Penta. Like, let's make a bit of a fuss over in mid, but that fell short because they were immediately flanked there. And then they were just like, all right, we got to go. So the A execute falls flat.
Yeah, if they wanted to sell a fake there or just bait out some nades, which they did do a good job of doing, they would have need to had a second smoke, right, for at least a minimum of smoking off fork and truck. But they ended up throwing that smoke, not executing. I think wanted to wait for nades, got that out of the way, but then didn't have a plan to go back to A. Kind of fell off to mid, and once they got flanked, I thought, okay, it looked like they had a plan for the whole round. It looks like they only had a plan for half of it, and Existence's defense caught them off guard a little bit. But now we're back on a bye. The man advantage goes to neither team here, as one player is down for both, and that means that could favor, I think, Penta. This might be their best opportunity to win a round in a while.
Yeah, the Crystal found the opener for them with the op, and then maybe they were hyped for a bit, but immediately silenced because he traded it out elsewhere on the map, but traded it out almost immediately, and then finds another, and now moves in Bonnie to take down Dennis. So just like that, Penta crumble on this round a little bit, and this will be, I mean, if they drop this, it's going to be 6 in a row that they've lost.
Yeah, but Penta did, Crystal did open up the site by himself. He's going to push her to CT for an aggressive pick, doesn't find it, and is in a 1-on-3.
Yeah, now trying to work his way back through his, I think, is that his own smoke? Maybe they put it there, and Flippin, well, can't even see it. He was in that smoke. Flippin sprays into it and does connect with Crystal. So 3 surviving members there for Existence, and that's going to be round 6 on the board for them.
Yeah, it was looking up until Kyrie took down next, and then, you know, a little bit of hope was lost, I think, for every member on that team, as they would have had to go up against Existence with a man down and that man being next. So, you know, putting Crystal in a 1v3 was a tough situation. He did manage to get 2 picks in the round, wasn't able to ace for his team, but still opened up a site. There was a glimmer of hope there, but at a certain point, it's about putting rounds on the board. We aren't necessarily at that point yet, but Kyrie comes out with another opening pick, and I expect him to just get hotter and hotter as the game goes on.
Yeah, indeed. Kyrie, he's so hot right now. I feel like we've said that almost every time we've covered Existence, because he really does just heat up with that op. Finds the opener there, and that will be, this is another buy round here, so after this, oh no, another player is going to drop. That was the player that was already dead though, I think. So, might move into another pause, but at least it won't have affected this round.
Mm-hmm. That will definitely be right after it, and it won't be a big deal. I think Dennis just opted to go for the reconnect. So.
Oh yeah, maybe with I think a reconnect previously maybe had a UI bug, so he reconnects while dead. There we go. No need to panic. NKJ trying to find someone today. That player at Forklift being very, very patient, and we see their Mason peeking out quick. And that was, I love that X-Ray was off there because you just see how fast he just shows up out of nowhere to get that kill. Yep. And then they set up a beautiful crossfire, 1 at Fork and 1 on the overhang there, the catwalk. And now that just leaves Crystal with the Galil, going to find one jumping around there in Z. But Lau will bring him down, and now Existence, round 7 on the board.
That was a beautiful Cerberus that he had. I wonder who he picked that up from. Need to hit him up with a trade offer. But yeah, Penta still looking for 1 rifle round in this game. I mean, just, you know, I feel like with them picking the map, they want to have not just the lead, right? Not just a small lead, but like a dominant lead in any half on either side of the map, because otherwise it's going to look pretty embarrassing for them. And again, you know, they put a lot on the line by picking this map. But Kyrie, once again, right off the boost, just takes a head off of Spitty. Unbelievable.
All right, to be fair, that's one location where you are probably going to get a headshot a lot as the opper, because people are like, you know, hey, just peeking up over the boost.
But that's if you can get the headshot,
yeah,
right?
It's still a crazy headshot, but it's not like he's, you know, an opper that aims for the head. That's just the only thing he can see in that case. And he's got it now, what, 2 rounds in a row?
Yeah.
And I think he's hit it here and there previously. But next, all right, not one to give up. We'll bring down Musa and Bonnie. And you're into a 4-on-4 with Kyrie, who's actually very, very low, but, you know, you can't stop this guy. He's going to get flashed, smoked out a little bit. Now some backup from the truck. That's Lau there. Crystal down with the quick flank, so that takes down the truck player. And it's a 1-on-2. So, I mean, honestly, a bit, whoa. And he actually finds the headshot there onto Mason. So now a 1-on-1, and the first real shot Penta has had since they've picked up rifles.
He's got the bomb, too. I think he has... There's the notion that he's on highway. I think he's feet. Oh,
oh my gosh! He started the reload. I got very scared. And I mean, the default plant, if we went for it quicker, would have been perfectly safe. It's a safe plant.
Flippin's going to get the idea that he wrapped the site right now. He's got to be careful.
Crystal, oh my gosh, he's still checking highway. He wants to look here behind this wall. He's not there. And actually, now the CT players moved up to quad. And Crystal able to get that rotation now over to B. And he will have enough time to get the bomb down. So we will actually see Flippin put in a retake situation one-on-one.
My God, what an extremely brave play. And here's Flippin thinking, no way it's going to be B. I just saw him on the site. He was just about to plant. There's no way he passed right by me. And yes to all of those things, as now he's got to go up against a 1v1 where Crystal has all the time in the world to get a good position.
He had the right idea and then maybe thought about it too much, backed off of that position. He was watching it. Oh, and now he's going to miss those shots. This is going to get Flippin an opportunity to gun him down. He misses some as well. Pulls out the sidearm. P2Ks him down.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
with the kit, and it's going to be round 8 here.
You thought he had it. I mean, he had all the time in the world to get in the best position possible, and he put himself in a position to get spotted first and lose a 1v1. That's a huge loss round for Penta. That could have been their first rifle round on the board right there. I think a 1v1 that once he got to the A site was actually handed to him, and he wasn't able to close it out. I can't imagine him being anything but upset right now, as that's a pretty huge failure.
Yeah, and he picked the spot, right? He's like, oh, I'm going to post up and watch vents. But then he's like, well, actually, you know, maybe it comes through CT. Maybe it comes through the B warehouse. Like, I can't actually just be exposed, so I had to give up that spot.
No way.
And Kyrie gets another. Like, at what point do you just stop trying to boost over there? Because Kyrie's taken down now 2. He's finally killed by Nex, and actually NKJ on the board, so that evens it up. And now Crystal moving through, aggressive with the op through that smoke. He's low, but he found that kill, and now it's a 3-on-2. And this time, I honestly think this is the first time they've had man advantage, but not for long. Musa and Bani finds the trade, and the terrorists don't actually have the bomb. It's under their control, but they don't actually have it with them. It's scooped up now by NKJ over in A main, but Flippin, oh, he's going to find one out towards middle. Bomb to be planted. Oh, he's going to get peeked. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he was going to be moving up through X-ray, but he is just playing truck.
Oh.
Wow, that was a big... There's been some crazy nades thrown at these Penta members. Now the flash is coming in. He'll back up to quad. Looking for the pop flash. Aggressive peek here. Just misses it. Just misses it again. But that time not shooting. Didn't want to give away the position. Oh, and the aim. A little wonky there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, not much to say except that it's okay. No one saw. There's a little bit of a miss there. Flippin had low HP, but he couldn't get the frag. It was almost a nice spot to get out of the site like that. He managed to get a player blind, and he knew that. And I think that once the flash popped, it was kind of called that he would be quad. And so him coming to the left side of the site made it possible for him to win the round. But you know, you got to have the plays and you got to have the aim. And unfortunately, in that round, NKJ couldn't do it. Now Existence put another round on the board. They are getting a little bit closer. You could say Penta are starting to make some good adjustments, and even though are kind of running some kind of default and getting shut down at mid, still coming kind of close to winning the round. It looks like they want to go over boost right now and take him straight up, but it looks like Dennis is going to be the one opping.
I mean, honestly, not the dedicated opper, but if it's just been not working out, switch it up, and maybe it catches your opponents off guard. And
it was probably a spawn play there, but he does put a kill on the board.
Yeah, because Kyrie wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was just Lal posted up with a rifle in there, and Kyrie has... Where did he actually go? Was he off towards B?
Yeah, and that being said, Kyrie is still alive.
Oh, no, he's at A, sorry. Yeah, so he's watching A main there. Mason then is going to be brought down by NKJ, and this is one of those pivotal rounds where it's like, oh, they were about to run away with this. And, you know, if Penta win this, they could easily just make it 9-6, and suddenly you've had a very close half. So we'll see how it goes. A 2-on-2 here at round 13. Dennis with, okay, he switches out now for that AK, and Speedy's able to get one. Can he find the second? No. He does light up Musa and Bani. Musa and Bani already with a 2K on the round and down to 34 HP against Dennis, who's found one frag and is full health, but no head armor. So if he gets one tapped right here, that's maybe why. But no. Musa and Bani won't even have a chance to look at him. Dennis guns him down.
Peeks out at the right time and wins that 1v1 for his team. So that's a 1v1 for Penta. That's 4 rounds on the board. A few of these rounds are a little bit closer than they would appear, but Existence with 9 rounds on the board and not a pistol to back that up means they are looking really good on the CT side. Kyrie even doing work in that round, getting 2 frags in the A site. And I think he's moved over to A because he felt confident that they wouldn't do full executes. It looks like Penta are having more success running defaults and just working picks until they can get into the site, because I think they believe in their individual play. But we'll have to go up against Musa and Bani in the checker here, who takes Nex down with a quick headshot. That's a huge player down.
And now he's got a good spot up towards that box. Maybe peek out quick, close on Dennis. But here's Crystal, and I think some teammates of his are dropping off that boost right now. They're going to try to molly out, get Flippin to move, or at least stop him from pushing. I'm not sure if that's where the molly was intended to go. Either way, this round, excuse me, not going so well for Penta. Yet to get even on the board. Dennis can do it here, and he does. He'll bring down Musa and Bani. who did have a 3K on this round, so maybe cool him off a little bit, but misses that one close, and Mason is able to get that headshot, and that is now round 10 for Existence.
Yeah, Existence responding to the way that Penta have been working on the map recently, and one of the best ways you can rely on your individual plays on Cash is to work mid, and it is to come up over the boost and try to take a shot off, and in response to that, try to play 3 mid, ended up working out because Musambani in the checker did his job and got his kill for free, shut down all the aggression over towards there, and Penta don't really have that many options. They haven't had success in the A site, they haven't had success in the B site, they've mostly had success in middle and in a very late round 1v1 one time.
Yeah, now we see the last round of the half, so you got to buy up the desperation. I would call it desperation, honestly, when it's 10-4 here. Obviously, you were going to buy Tech 9 and armor anyway with his money, but here they go, trying to run and gun their way out of the doors and through a main, but getting greeted by a lot of flashbangs. Everyone's staring at white. Oh, Mason! And those corners, man. Corners and nades, they don't get along.
He was hosting a barbecue.
Yeah. And, well, didn't molly off the squeaky, but it doesn't really matter. The player trying to get out of there doesn't find anything, and now it's just Dennis with the bomb, 3 HP and an AK.
And a dream.
And a dream. That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm. Him and MLK. Dennis and MLK.
That's what they got in common. All right, it looks like Flippin was there to cut off that rotate, but he doesn't even get that far. Mason will move up, I think, towards Highway. And that is the half, 11-4 for Existence. And, I mean, Penta got those first 3 rounds, you know, winning the pistol and then the next 2 really cleanly.
Yeah.
It came to rifles, and they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I want to say, and I don't want to put this all on one player, but it started with the 1v1 that Crystal couldn't win. I think that would have given them more opportunities to win rounds because they won that, they had to save, right? And that's another opportunity lost. And in the later half of the first half, we saw a lot of success from Penta in the early to mid round, coming up mid and trading out. But once we got into the late rounds, we had Existence winning all the clutches. And once again, Penta only have 1 rifle round in that entire half, and it was off the back of a 1v1 from Dennis.
Yeah, and I believe, well, the Crystal 1v1 was the most exciting. We got the 1v1 cams out, it was a very long rotate, and actually it started off with some sick flashes and fakes.
And definitely the team that was supposed to win, which I think was Penta, couldn't do it. So they ended up losing that 1v1. It was crucial. Now they're going to have to go into this half and have a tough road. Now the thing is that Existence are on the T side. Penta have that going for them. But it all starts with this pistol.
Yeah, and very, very important always. But, I mean, when you're down this many, you're really going to need it as... All right, I guess... Oh, that was just the replay. Okay, I see. Still waiting. No, that wasn't a replay. That was the pistol round.
We are still live.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, guys. And all right, we're back into it. Sorry about that. Penta, they found the first 2. So Mason and Kyrie are down. And it's a 5-on-3 for Penta, looking to get that 5th round on the board. And, I mean, hopefully they can get the first 3 for both halves, right? They desperately need it now.
Yeah, Existence are playing this out a little bit scared, I feel like, and aren't even able to get any map control. And so from that, are getting picked apart, but Lowell gets a very important kill on headshot, takes the head off of Nex, and as Musambani's going to hold down the vent, they can try to plant the bomb.
Dennis does move towards that smoke, though. The bomb has been planted in a very safe position, and Flippin gets him. And now coming through the vent, Speedy, I mean, they were watching this immediately because there was only one player B, and the other one got kind of stuck up in the vents, which was Speedy. Hasn't been able to get out, and, you know, they flipped it around just like that from a 5-on-3 to a 2-on-3, now a 2-on-2. So, seeing how the cookie crumbles here, NKJ trying to get into the site, but cannot. Lau will bring him down, and now Speedy moving up, going for the knife! Oh, he gets the knife, so consolation knife, but Flippin takes him down, and Penta cannot be happy about losing that one.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a huge surprise. At first, it seemed like Existence were low on options. It was down to 3v5, I think, and then Lowell got that opening pick on the B site, cleaning up that player at headshot, and that was where Penta was weak. You know, they had a lot of people at mid, and the player that was supposed to be in vent was actually pushing through, looking for information, and they took advantage of that by acting on instinct, I feel like, and once they got that pick for free in the site, won that 3v4 with class, and come away with a huge pistol round. I really didn't think they were going to pull that off.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to pull that off. I don't think Existence thought they were going to pull it off. I don't think Penta thought that they would pull it off. Nobody thought
that was going to happen. But it sure did. And now we've got, well, actually, I don't know. doesn't start off all that great. I mean, there is that rifle there because of the knife money. And, I mean, at that range, I guess, towards the middle, it was able to shut down the SMG, so Existence just really not expecting it. And they even had an AK of their own, because Dennis is going to be able to scoop up one of those now. It is a 2-on-3, though. MP7 can be very strong. There's the trade out there. Puts him in a 1-on-2, and from behind, it's Dennis.
Oh, my gosh.
So we will see the eco.
Wow. The ever-elusive
Well, I can't
eco.
even call it an eco, because they bought a rifle. But
Yeah,
the second round.
It's not an eco if you spend all your money. That's definitely true. And that's the 5th round on the board for Existence. You got 13-4. Looks 10 times worse than 12-5. 10 times worse. They have so much more of a buffer that is Penta if Existence only have 12 rounds. And now that they're on a bye, going up against a counter bye from Existence, who want to try to steal back the momentum and swing the economy, hard back into their favor, are going to be buying themselves. It's a really, really risky buy. I think it's going to take.
I think so too.
Yeah, a counter buy on CT side might be easier to win than on T side.
I mean, maybe expecting full rifles, but this almost seems like an old habit thing, right? Because we still have the MP7 and the P90 up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, well, more so the MP7 because it was the one buffed, but it was, it was buffed to sort of silence the Tech 9 on rounds just like this. But NKJ not able to do any damage and actually has been dealt enough to be down to 30. And I don't know if the scout, I guess that was probably the scout shot, I'm actually going to guess, to NKJ to get him there. See how that works out. Okay, well, when it's in the hands of Kyrie, just like that. Still peeking so quick with that gun. Next, though, in the sight. Oh, he gets one, but immediately 2 headshots coming up from the Tech 9. Speedy going to move in through the smoke and does actually get one in sight. And one of the generators flipping now with the Tech 9. Now with an AK. And Musambani has got his hands on an MP7. So Speedy moving in for the retake and standing in the open, switching out to your sidearm. Isn't going to work out. So the 1-1-1 split here on the first 3 rounds.
Oh, unbelievable. That rarely happens. I mean, that's a huge round that Existence wanted to win, and now it looks like Penta have no choice but to eco. Will they be spending all their money? No, it's just on. They are spending all of their money on the back of 1 M4 and pistol, so looking for a 1-1-1 split.
Yeah, I don't know. Just back to back is the better way to say that.
And at the end of the day, if that keeps happening, it's going to favor Existence. But if Penta can win this round and end it here, and they do have the man advantage again, so will we see a 1-1-1 split for the 1th time in Counter-Strike?
Well, Dennis got that first kill, is traded out there eventually by Musambani over towards Sunroom and B Warehouse.
That's an M4 in a bad spot.
Yeah. Although still, I mean, a lot of potential here with these P250s, especially, I'm looking at that Deagle, and on a person like Nex, maybe expect to see some more
like an ace,
here.
an easy ace or whatever.
Yeah, well, I can't get the ace because Dennis already started it off, but an ace of the currently living, I suppose.
I think it's called a mini ace.
Mini ace, that seems reasonable. Mason finds one with that FAMAS, using that CT weaponry. Nice dink with the nade, I love it. And then about 50 damage coming off of him there as well. Speedy being controlled over there at Z. See what Nex can do with the Deagle, because it looks like they are going towards A, and we've got flipping over here in Highway, so kind of a 2-1 split onto this A site where we do have 2 of the CT players.
Oh, good nade. Oh, what? He lives.
Has 9 HP. They're going to see the player at fork and bring him down. NKJ most likely, can't do much with just 9 HP. Peeks out to be shot down immediately, and now Speedy coming over with the 5-7.
Oh.
And the Urban Hazard, it looks nice, but it's not enough there to find a 3K and win the round.
Yeah, and so we won't see that that split happening today, but that's really going to favor Existence, who are who are about to take this first map and kind of reverse the opposite of my prediction, I guess I could say. And I might have to pound down to you a little bit as you thought that they might win this map. I'm truly surprised. Penta here with 3 armor buys. We're looking to even out the money, but we'll go back to a buy next round. I think are kind of like talking in the sense that that once they see that they're losing the map anyway, they're just going to play for whatever and just go on to the next map.
Yeah.
And aren't just going to try to win it for the sake of pride.
And
because
it's
they
a map
actually have
they
so
love.
much pride that and it's a map they love, that they're just going to just do whatever on this map, see if it works. But Existence are definitely outclassing them right now, showing them what they're made of and making them regret picking cash.
Yeah, and well, we'll see one player here. It's Nex. Is he rocking the unsilenced USP? That's my hero right there. All right, moving into the site, though, the terrace. So it's under their control, about to blow up bomb site B. Or will they? Can these pistols with some armor and the 1 AK on Crystal enough on the retake? But they're a man down on Penta, and it looks like Existence should be putting up match point without too much trouble. And Speedy gonna move on in. Doesn't really work out for him. NKJ, though, maybe not expecting 2 to come out from heaven that quick, but Mason shoots him down, and Crystal on the save. So my prediction, it was 16-11 for Existence, because I thought it was going to be pretty close, so I guess I'm technically wrong. But by Price is Right rules,
But just in the W and the Price is Right rules, which are the standard for
rules for
fallback rules for
right?
Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
For sure. I have to give it to you. And that's going to be a huge defeat for Penta now. They do have the opportunity here. I mean, there was a partial save, so with their money evened out, I guess they'll have the opportunity to try and buy here, though it looks like NKJ and Speedy are on their last few dollars. They're going to have to buy some Goodwill guns and see what they can do with it, but have to come back 10 rounds in a row after getting ecoed twice on their CT side already, so that's not going to be good for their confidence.
And I should say, for those of you coming into the stream, and also those of you that have trickled in here to the MLG Arena, map 2 is Mirage. I mean, we got the match point, so it looks like, based on the way this has gone, we'll probably see it pretty soon. And Musambani even finds the opener, almost able to get 2. It's NKJ down to a little bit. Oh, the pop flash, but then the push through the smoke wasn't following it up.
I think you got stuck on the wall. I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Those smoke blind is worse than full white, honestly.
Yeah.
So 4-on-4, working towards A here.
Because smoke blind can go on forever if you never find your way.
That's true. Like 10 seconds plus. How long does it take to go away?
50,
like a second and a half?
It's a 15 seconds plus dissipating.
Yeah. And then plus, yeah, I guess if you stand in, it dissipates and you can see. But if you were to run out of it, then you still have like that second or 2.
Yeah. Now, it is actually 4v4 in this round, so I guess we can't count them out quite yet. Speedy does manage to make it an even bigger man advantage.
And that Molly didn't really go to where it wanted to. Maybe they wanted it fence. Generally, you see it over towards quad, but they're going to push through. The trades are there, and they're effective. You know, it's 2-on-2. So it is winnable, so Penta can stay in it, but it's a long road back. They're deficit of 10 right now, and they're playing for the tie. Oh, the spray control, not quite there, and that'll be it. Existence will take it 16-5, and it will be now their map pick, which was Mirage, although a favorite of both of these teams coming up next.
Yeah. How do you feel about these two? How do you feel about Existence's performance? Do you think it was mostly a fault of Penta not being able to just, I don't know, get their feet on the ground almost? I mean, they did manage to lose both pistols, and so I feel like the map was a little bit closer than it looked, but at the same time, Existence were winning all of the important rounds. And we have some stats up here for you to look at for yourselves. Next, top fragging once again for his team. 8 frags on the board. Not the typical performance that we see from him, who usually has his 20 even if they lose, but everybody struggling to do their part, it seems.
Yeah, and like you said, struggling to get their feet on the ground. They honestly were, because they were boosting up onto the boost, and they could never get off of it. They couldn't get back to the ground because Kyrie was killing them, like 2 people every single round at boost, at least 1. And now it looks like we've got almost the full stats here. So now that was just the first half that I think that popped up initially, because 8 seemed a little low. We will see next, though, actually not on top. Speedy with 13 here. So next, I mean, you can't really say underperforming, but from like our small sample size of the best of 3s here in the pro placements.
It's definitely a group effort of underperforming in this situation, for sure. As everybody seemed to struggle quite a bit, and overall, from Existence, we see a very nice and even kill distribution. You know, even Lowell had 14 frags, put a 50 in efficacy, so definitely did his part in some way or form. And 3 clutch rounds, 3 clutch kills from Musambani, though I think. Yeah, one was won by him, so that's a great first map from Existence. I expect them at this point to be able to secure a second map. I thought if they were going to win a map, I guess it would have had to have been Cash, even though I called it 2-0. But right now, it's looking like an upset could be highly possible.
All right, so Misled and I still in it to win it with the predictions, and we'll see what happens on map 2, Mirage here, and the CEVO Season 7 Pro placements between Penta Esports and Existence, and we'll be back with Mirage. We're going to do a quick commercial break, guys, so stay tuned, and we'll be back here with all the action.